Hey, I'm David.
And I'm Kaylin.
And this is another edition of the Exciting Whites podcast, where we talk about white wine.
And everything else that's on the table.
That was, I just threw that to you randomly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
I just want
to I appreciate it.
Out, you know.
Yeah, keeping me on my tippy toes.
It's a fine rainy day here in Michigan.
So fine.
So fine, so rainy. Which
so fine.
Whenever it's a rainy day, it's a fine day to drink white wine.
Yeah.
Which is primarily what we drink. We foray into other things at times, but not really.
But not red wine.
We don't really love a red wine. So that
actually, that's a lie. Because once we were in Frankenmuth and we got a cherry wine.
Oh, there is all,
which was the color
you
red.
You can introduce a caveat to anything. I can occasionally drink a Merlot if I've already had many glasses of something else before.
Oh, yeah. I would have to be slightly or substantially intoxicated in order to be.
That's what I mean.
You know,
kind of. That was like the nicer, more classier way of saying the same thing that you just said.
Coerced into drinking a red wine. Yeah.
That sounds awful. Like your hands are tied behind your back. And like, dump it in. Like red wine running down your face. Like
just crying.
Vampiric
like,
ritual.
If I must.
On that note, Kevin, how you doing today?
All right. It's a rainy day, like you said.
Yep. It's kind of poop.
I don't need to be totally boozed out of my mind, I guess, to drink something. But I'm drinking a Coke Zero today. So.
Right. Well, you know, as is wont to do from the engineering standpoint, the soda to keep the wheels rolling down the track is important.
Right.
Right. As the wheels fall off.
And producer Kevin doesn't really love wine anyway. So was it last week? Or was
he did
it the
try
week
that.
before?
Yeah, he did try some.
Last week, I think we
Chardonnay.
tried.
I did enjoy it. It was actually all right.
Speaking of that, what are we drinking today?
Today, we are drinking Winking Owl.
Like
Winking Owl 2017 Sauvignon Blanc. Actually, which is my favorite type of wine, typically.
I do know that.
The origin is California. The taste is dry. The notes include citrus, lemon, and apple. The food that you might enjoy this with is
the drama.
Seafood, light pasta dishes, and poultry. The temperature is best when served chilled. This 750 milliliter bottle is 12% alcohol by volume.
That's interesting. I would say my initial sips, it is very what a sound.
I was doing the wine thing. You got to. With my braces, it's kind of hard to hold my lips in place. You know.
It doesn't have a bouquet on the nose.
No,
very, very much at all.
It doesn't.
It definitely is not acidic. It is very clean, almost water-esque.
Yeah, that's what was we did have a few sips before the episode started, and that was my first comment. I'm like, this tastes like water. I could drink this all day. This
is the wine version of that friend that everyone has. That person that everyone's friends with. You know what I mean? Like you find out that they're friends with that person because that person's so likable that they're friends with everyone.
The Labrador friend.
Labrador friend? Is that what it's called?
That's what I always call it.
Labrador.
Yeah, because you can't hate a lab.
I mean,
they're usually generally friendly dogs.
Oh, as a dog goes, yes.
They're friendly.
But
I like a lab outside.
It's friendly to the palate. I think if you weren't a wine drinker or a non-connoisseur in any way.
All dogs are stinky.
No.
Hi. Wine podcast.
My bad.
Just
I was talking about
this
Labradors.
This is not a dog podcast yet. Nor is it a stinky dog podcast.
Not yet.
Bad dog. Try this Sauvignon Blanc by Winking Owl. Anyway, what I was going to say is it seems like very, very good with seafood. This would be excellent with a white fish.
I might just buy this again and eat it with a white fish.
Eat it with a white fish.
Yeah.
Or cook with it.
Yeah.
Or drink it with a white fish.
Both. A little for the food, a little for the chef. You know.
A little for
Julia Child style.
You got to tip a little for your homies.
A little for the
recipe,
a little for the chef.
For my homies, which actually means he's probably
dead.
That would infer that he's probably saying that he's kidding,
dead!
Or that it's sarcastic. I don't actually care about my homie owls. There's more mice in the forest for me, and more Sauvignon Blanc for me to drink.
LOL.
Well, he owns the wine.
He owns the wine. It's his wine.
It's his wine.
Yeah.
He's just tricking us into drinking it.
The other night, I decided to change my furnace filter.
Why?
Because I have an application that tells me to do so.
Yeah,
That's
I would hope
nice.
that it wasn't just a decision. It's something you
I
normally
just decided to do this.
It sent me the notification at 2:35 in the morning. So like any...
Which you were obviously awake.
Well, I was. And I am a late person, just like you. We are night owls. Winking night owls. And so I decided to go downstairs and silently in the dark, because I feel like I know my way around my home pretty well, sneak about and change the furnace filter stealthily and quickly, and then reset it. And then I would go. I was getting ready to go to bed anyway, so I was like, actually, I was in bed. I got the notification. I went down into the basement. As I'm going into the basement where I keep the spare filters, I trip.
Oh dear! So not
and then become entangled in an entire crate, a milk crate filled with every cable I've saved from the last 20 years, wrapping around me. I'm like that 9 Inch Nails video where Trent Reznor's just and they're all wrapped in duct tape and cabling, and it looks all wild and crazy. That's how I felt. And I'm rolling around down there, and there's cat litter on the floor because that's also where the litter is, right next to
Did your cats think that you were dying and immediately come to feast on your bones?
That went a different direction.
With Kaylin, you never know what
You're not
spice the
supposed
sauce
to
is going to come
lay
in
on the
as.
ground for too long because your cats might think you're dead and might have a nibble off.
I
of
know
you.
that it has been said that if you die, animals have been known and cats have been known to eat their
your
body
face.
of their owners.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's
Dogs
their face
won't
specifically.
supposedly do it if they love
Maybe
you.
they'll just eat your butt like the movie Alive. They just ate a butt.
Just eat your butt.
They just cooked and I don't even think they cooked it. They just ate it raw.
Ew.
This winking owl would be delicious with cooked or uncooked
Cooked butt.
That is my personal endorsement. Anyway, it got me thinking as I'm rolling around in cat litter and cables from 2005 that it might be time to throw some of this away.
No, you can't do that. You might need it later.
Well, that's why I've kept it. And so what I wanted to bring up was the fact that we as people...
We the people.
And this is another thing, too. I don't know if this is a thing that's on other parts of the world or if this is just like a U.S. thing, but I have not one of these containers with cables in it. I have a drawer, too.
Yeah.
That is filled with stuff and errant things, and we refer to it as the drunk drawer.
The junk drawer. Yeah.
I had one growing
two.
up. In fact, in my house, every drawer was a drunk drawer because my
drunk
drunk drawer.
A drunk
junk
drawer
because my mom is a semi-hoarder and thinks that everything has value and doesn't throw anything away, and neither do I. When is it too much, and when do we cross the line? By the way, I haven't thrown anything away yet to date, and this was last week. So I'm trying to learn something, too.
This is where you stand up. My name is David, and I'm a pack rat.
Yeah, but I know, dude, that you have the same amount of cables, if not more, lurking in your home. Anyone who's built a computer still got the boxes for their their motherboard and power supplies lurking around. Probably.
I am a keeper of boxes because I think that maybe if I'm going to get rid of the item that was slightly costly, that if I want to sell it on Facebook Marketplace or something, I'm going to need the box to make it look nice, and then
It's more valuable.
Yeah, it's more valuable.
But you're going to use it again, right? Like there's a
Maybe,
mentality that people
but
have told
maybe
me
I
about.
never sell the thing.
I remember going into a friend's garage, and his grandpa. He lived with his grandpa. It was like he had bad parents or whatever, so he was living with his grandparents who lived in my neighborhood, and they had a bunch of old screws in a jar. And I was thinking to myself, what the heck are they going to do with this old jar of screws? And the guy comes out and he goes, "You never know when you might need one."
My dad.
And so I kind of just have applied that thinking to my life. I'll never know if I need this PS1 power supply, or maybe this Game Boy Advance charger for a thing I don't even own anymore.
But that's happened enough times for me where I do keep every kind of cord, even if I have no idea what it goes to.
Love every kind of cord.
I love every kind of cord.
Put them in a basket with a bow on them. I love you Category 5 cable that I got for free with this Linksys modem and 2009.
Yes, that actually happened. I ended up needing a Category 5 cable, and I had one in a box, and I was like, cool.
Well, that does
I'm
happen.
glad I
This
kept
is
that.
where
That's
you are
the
now.
whole point. The box is what saved it, not
But
the crate
the funny
of cables.
thing
that
was,
you
I
didn't-
didn't even know what a Category 5 cord was until I needed it, and I had to look it up, or maybe you told me about it, and we're like, you need this, and you sent me a picture, or like something, and I was like, I think I have that, and I went to my box of cords, and it was there, and I'm like, haha, why shouldn't I keep
This
it?
is
It's
where
like
you are
that
different.
meme. It's like that Lord of the Rings meme, and he's like, why shouldn't
Yes, but
I?
You're different
You
though,
know?
because I will say I have like probably more cords than anybody
I just have
in
a
this
small
room
box
right now. But I will say,
Well, are we
and I
counting
will
this?
know-
Are we counting where we tape the show too?
No,
Because then I got you.
this
No.
is neutral ground.
Okay,
Some of the cords in this place are mine too,
All right, fair. That's fair.
Probably yes.
left behind by the ghosts of.
The ghosts of
past.
Of bands
music
past.
I know I have all these cords, and I probably have everything I ever need. But you know
Yeah.
what's way easier? Going on Amazon and ordering.
Just
a new
ordering a
one.
new one. So, okay, is our society to the point where, and this is the thing too, like you said, you got it out of a box. I have a crate of cables. Many times I've needed a cable. I'm not necessarily sure that I go down to the dark depths of the
I always
dungeon
go.
to search for that.
I do always go.
But I don't. Because
Mine
it's
are
inconvenient.
organized. I have them in different bins by
Oh.
different type, but I
See,
still
if I
Amazon's
have them
easier.
organized, I think so.
I
That's
don't
what I
always
need to
know
do.
what they are, which is why I keep them, because I don't know where they go to or what they are, and so I might need them in the future, and it might be the only cord. And then, like, for instance, I had an iPod
You did?
video.
Like recently?
No,
I was like, what?
from ancient
Doesn't your
times,
phone do
like
all that now?
2006 maybe
Not
or
crazy.
something.
Well, you used to have 4 devices.
I know, and it was like the old. I forget what that cord is called. The old iPod cord that was like long
It's
and
the original. It's
squarish
before the
and-
lightning cable.
Yeah,
It's just
before
the
that, it was
original-
just the
yeah.
old cable.
The iPhone 3 cord.
Wasn't it
is what I
64
call
pins or something?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was
Crazy,
ridiculous.
like,
Anyway, I lost
That
that
lied.
cord, and I wasn't able to ever charge it again, and then I wasn't able to buy a new cable for it, and
this happened to
so
us.
and
You
then
don't
that
remember
was
this?
it.
Remember the clock? I used the old iPad as a clock and put it on
Yeah.
the wall, and then we had it there charging, and then one day the cable and the power supply just went bad, and I didn't have another one of those,
Yeah.
and that's it. But
And that's
I,
it.
I would say for me, the organization, like you're saying that you've done, Kevin, to organize the cables so that when you need something, it's set aside, would be the only way I would probably access the crate. But in my mind, the time it takes to then go down there and commit to organizing all that, I just don't care. So I guess like,
Then she'll throw them away.
yeah, that's the point, right?
If you don't know how many are there,
But I wonder
and
how many people feel that way.
The task
You know what I
to
mean? Like-
organize them is too great. Like, it's not worth your time. Like, you've
For the
balanced
crate,
out.
I use the junk drawer, but I don't reorganize that
How
either.
much is my time worth monetarily? If I spend 2 hours,
Yeah, more
is
than
that more money spent in my time worth, or should I just buy the cord that I need on Amazon?
The only time that I
That's
feel
when
like
you
I
should just
need
throw
a
away the
cable,
box of cords.
like most stuff comes with a cable now.
Yeah.
They just don't come with any, like if it's a USB
it doesn't
charging.
come with the.
What is with the crime on the wall wart now? Like, why can't we get so there's no you get a cable like a USB-C cable. It terminates in a
Mm-hmm.
USB end, and then you need to plug it into a wall receptacle, right?
Yeah.
The wall receptacle wall wart. They don't include
They
those
No
at all.
longer included.
No
You
longer
paid
included.
$1,700 for a phone, and now you don't even get.
You don't get it.
Like, let's just say that you're.
don't deserve
Let's say that you
it.
just immigrated to the U.S. So everything that you own is in
Oh.
old non-converted plugs,
Oh,
right?
no.
And you want to come in and charge.
Oh,
You
you're
cannot.
lost.
You buy a new iPhone thinking, I'm going to start my life as you. I've
You are
saved
not.
up enough money.
You cannot.
You can't even charge it because they don't include
Well, the
a
other
way to
problem-
plug it in.
I mean, I do have some plugs in my home
because
that just have the
hold on.
USB plug.
The assumption is that we all have them.
Yeah, and also no voltage there.
or that you have a USB plug directly into your wall, which I do have
Yeah,
two
okay, but not
of
everybody
those in
lives
my
in a
home.
micro towel,
But
you know, like.
the problem with that too is some of those wall warts are 5 volts, some are 12 volts, and none of them are labeled,
No,
so you don't even know.
right.
So you could get one and think you're charging your iPad, and you are not,
You are not.
because you have to have a 12 volt.
You are
that's the point.
not.
Yeah, but how many times have you plugged it in and seen on any iDevice, this is not charging? Mm-hmm. You
Oh,
know?
all the time.
And that's just like,
Or you have to open your phone or whatever and be like, yes, accept. I
I've been-
recognize this is not a legitimate lightning cable, but I
I've
still
used
want to
a
use
legitimate lightning cable with an illegitimate plug-in source, and it's like
Illegitimate. It's
not
a
charging.
bastard
Like, it
charger.
just says not enough. Like I thought at 5 watts was its minimum.
Yeah,
and
I
that's for
pretty much-
Apple. I don't know what Android is. It might be the same.
I pretty much exclusively use bastard chargers. I don't use the legitimate ones.
I don't think anyone does because now in this time, no one includes.
They don't
anything.
include 'em.
So like, they don't include
Yeah.
them. I just kind of feel like there's a crime.
I always buy the
committed
Amazon
against us.
basic ones. That's what I get.
Yeah, but that's
not
the
that
whole
we're
point.
affiliated.
Now
I'm
there's
just
a
saying.
whole subset,
Yes.
a whole market of people that are buying these things because nothing's included with
Right.
it. Like
Yeah.
eventually those things burn up.
Yeah.
You know?
Or they just go to the abyss where every other charger eventually goes.
Right. The abyss.
Someone in your house steals it, even when you only have one other person in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are a commodity. Because I have kids and they're always trying to charge some device
Yeah.
and they disappear.
Yeah. Well, you have to
I've been
gather
fighting.
resources.
You
These are
guys
the
know I have
resources.
those 2 Bluetooth speakers. I keep one downstairs and one upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I fight a war with the USB-C cable that is the same as the
Mm-hmm.
charger for the for my daughter's tablet. And so she decides
Yes,
she's
I've
going to have
seen
it.
her in various locations.
I found like 8 of those suckers under the bed because I just kept buying more. I'm like, man, I don't know where this USB-C cable goes. Maybe I borrowed it for something and I don't remember because, again, I go down and do things at 2:30 or 3 in the morning and maybe don't remember it. And then they're gone and I find them under her bed. Anyway, so they don't supply us power supplies anymore. So I understand hoarding those.
Yeah.
But you can go on Amazon now and buy probably 50 of them in a pack.
You
'cause
can.
There's nothing. But what I'm saying is if all your devices included one like they used to, then you wouldn't need to do that. And we didn't used to have to do that. And that's my whole point. The price of everything goes up, but they include less. You know?
Yeah.
Well, the other
It's
side
a
of it, too,
crime.
is-
It's just a
conspiracy.
I
actually-
cheers for the same.
I'm the type too that I want like the wall wart charger to be the same color as the cable. Like it bothers me. When
I
it's
I am the
not.
same way. I
That's
do
what
not
she's
like
referring to when she says bastardized charging. Is
Yeah, I
that
hate it.
You had a black cable or a black wall wart
with
with
like
a white
pink
cable.
cable. I have like this pink cable, and
Yeah.
I expected when I bought it on Amazon that it would come with a pink wall wart, and it did
Expecting.
not. And so I had to like unplug something else and plug it, and I'm like, well, this stinks.
It does stink.
It stinks rather foul.
And I'll take a picture of this later, but there's a spot in our room where I plug one of our cameras into, and if you guys can look over there and see it, there's 2 wall warts plugged into that plug, and I always plug it into the one that matches the same color
Yeah.
as the cable.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
Even though the other one probably is better.
and that's an odd thing.
You're colorist when it
That,
comes
well, it's an
to
odd thing
your...
coming from someone who is actively colorblind.
Colorblind.
It admits,
But I can see
admittedly.
black and
That's
white.
true. You are
Those are black and white.
colorblind. That's funny.
I think it's continuity. I have the same thing like in radio control car racing. Two schools of wheels are yellow and white, and the yellow wheel guys always try to joke that yellow wheels are faster. But some people mix and match. They'll see like white wheels on the front and yellow wheels on the back, and that car just looks like a Ronald McDonald mobile. Whenever
Yeah,
I
it
see
doesn't
him
look
that way.
great.
It's like
Yeah, it'd be like
You know,
wearing 2
I don't
different
think
colored
it's great.
shoes.
so. I like continuity in things. I agree with that as well. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
So on the same vein, all right, we're talking about cables already.
Well, we're just saying, like,
when would
Stuff
you?
in general.
So do you feel like you have to keep those cables? Like, do you feel like there's a reason why you haven't thrown them away?
I have the same relationship as with certain old cables as I do with certain old pieces of clothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
like there's a shirt that I used to look good in, but that literally looks moth-eaten, and I hold on to it like like the.
yeah.
Like I have the Purple Rain cut up shirt from the music video Dead by Dawn we
Yeah.
made years ago. All of us made years
Yeah,
ago.
I was in it. We'll
I
find-
know.
see if you can find me.
And I still
Yeah,
have
you were
it.
in it.
I still have it, but it's like I don't know that I'll ever really wear it. It's kind of a thing that was cut up for the thing.
For
It's a
the
piece of
thing,
memorabilia.
yeah.
We should just give it away to a patron or something.
we should.
That could be a cool thing. But I have
should.
it in my closet, and it's been there with several sweaters that I had when I was a heavier man.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of look like a more billowy
Sure.
Santa Claus-esque fabric on me
Yeah.
now. If I
More
were to put
jolly.
them on. But I don't
More
throw them away.
jolly.
I don't, or I should donate them.
I've got several T-shirts, and I try to get rid of things every year.
But you
I try to
donate
get-
stuff. I
I do.
feel
I
like
donate
In
stuff.
fact, you sell stuff. You're even
I
more
sell
crafty.
stuff.
She's
I'm
like-
thrifty.
She goes to places and does resale.
Yeah, I'll
I
go
don't
to,
do
like,
any of that.
you know,
Do you do that?
those.
No.
I hold on to crap.
Resale
What
shops.
happens is our
Every-
closet gets so bad, and then my wife will complain and nag me about it. Not nag, that's probably not the right word. But anyways, until
He's worried
eventually
about-
where I
he's
do
worried
it.
about
He's
more
worried
back
about
there.
the
Yeah, that's all that was.
repercussions.
But eventually she'll get frustrated enough and she'll just,
donate it.
yeah.
So I've got several T-shirts from like high school, like plays or like musicals that I was in, or like cross country team shirts that I have. I basically stayed the same size my whole life since I was 12.
Must be nice.
Yeah, Except that like my clothes, if they're not worn out, they're just always there, and I feel like I can't really get rid of them because I still fit in them. Like, what if I need to like paint something? Like,
what if I need to dress up like
somewhere?
Gwen Stefani from?
Yeah, what if I need to dress up like Gwen
From
Stefani?
when she was in
What
No
if-
Doubt. Still,
Yeah,
You're
like
just a girl in the world.
so I've actually like cut them and
That's all you'll
like turned
ever
them
be.
into crop tops because I'm like, I'm cute still and I'm gonna hold on to my youth. I'll just
what's that hand doing there?
scissoring,
What exactly?
cutting the bottom off her t-shirt that was like real long.
Making
I
it
go,
a half shirt?
Making it a half shirt. Make it into a
We
crop
used to
top.
joke about you, you know, like
You still
like,
do.
this normal-
This is not a used to thing. This is the
these
same.
This clothing isn't whorish enough. Like I need to cut it up and make it look like I work hard to look like.
I do
One
work
time you got
hard.
like you had a couple glasses of wine. I won't say what. It might have been a red. You were feeling fiery
I
and
don't
already
think
drunk.
so.
And you're
I
like,
wouldn't
I'm
have-
gonna
I
cut
wouldn't
this
have done
clothing.
that.
I work hard for my body, and I'm not gonna cover it with some long baggy t-shirt.
Yeah, well,
and
the
I don't
problem with
disagree.
those t-shirts is that they're like one size, sort of like unisex, whatever. So there's no curve huggingness. I
Yeah.
don't have too
And
many
you're
curves.
homunculus, so
I'm
you gotta
pretty like
fix it.
straight down anyway.
I
But
find
like,
that those T-shirts that are printed from those drop sites that where
Yeah,
you order
they're
and they
just
print it
like,
then at the computer
"Mwah."
print, those shirts are just like the most shapeless,
shapeless
it's like,
shirt.
like human form, like bipedal
So-
creature divided into two halves.
Exactly. So I'll cut
Here's
the
a
thing.
square
I'll
cut
cut it in
shirt.
the
Yeah.
back. I'll like try and tie it together,
Like
and
a
then
cereal
it just,
box with
then
armholes,
Then
you
it just
know?
looks like a craft project from junior high, and it looks terrible. But I
Yeah.
still
I
don't
think your
throw
cut
it
shirts
away.
Look nice, but that's the problem. You cut up a shirt, and now I'm instantly staring at the difference,
Right.
and I kind of feel I don't feel bad about it, but I feel like now you've drawn attention. That T-shirt instead of like whatever
Sometimes
fun
everybody
messages on
wants
it.
to look like wants to look at my belly button, you know. And
I'm
like,
not. I'm
like
saying
my belly button. I
I
think
enjoy
it's
when you
cute.
cut your shirts up,
well, thank you.
but also I understand why some people, you know, or when I look at you in a cut up shirt, I know that you're emitting a certain sexual vibe a little bit
Ooh, sexual.
because of just the amount of skin you're showing.
Sexual
So
feeling.
I'm
you're
saying, does it
thankful that some
detract?
people
If the
don't do
shirt
that.
says something cool on it, does it add to it or detract from it because it's been cut? And
Because
you're-
no, is
and
it?
you're
Do you
half
think
naked?
people are not looking at it? Then they're not even looking at the like realizing stuff, or
All
like,
I'll say is there's been times where you walked in a cut shirt and I don't remember.
and
what's
you
on
don't know
shirt.
what the shirt was. You
Yes.
just look at
I'm
the belly
admitting it.
button.
I am admitting that your cut shirts sexualize you.
I'm causing
that's
you
your
to
intention.
sin. I'm causing you to lust after
Anyway,
the flesh.
how many do you ever throw any of these out once they're cut? Do you keep them forever, knowing that you
Yeah.
looked good in them before, that you had this your wild
No,
effect
that's the
on those
thing. Like
around
I've
you?
never looked good in those shirts. Is why like
That's why you cut them. But I'm saying
But
once
that's why
you
I cut
cut
them.
them, obviously, as we're saying,
then I use them to work out in, or
So
like I
you
use
do wear them.
Yeah, I wear them, but like they're basically trash shirts. Like they don't look good. Like I wouldn't wear them like to play
Yeah.
a show. Like you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't wear them like out.
in
I would just-
2028, when I finally have abs, I will buy a midnight shirt and cut it and wear
And
a
cut it?
half midnight shirt with
Yeah,
my
like a
younger
Bill
then.
and Ted's
When I was
Excellent
younger-
Adventure, like
right, exactly.
old football
Yes,
style, like half shirt.
yes. Yeah, or the
cute.
those used to go over to show colors.
My first real job,
football.
there was a guy I worked with. I worked at a full service gas station. That probably dates me, but he always wore like
Not if you're
Not
living
if
in New
you're
Jersey.
in New Jersey.
True.
We were just in New Jersey,
We've
and
talked
he
about
gets
this
out.
already.
He gets out to fill up the car, and
Talked about
and
this
there
already.
a guy yells at him like, "You're not allowed to do this." Yeah.
Just-
Tune into episode whatever
this
that
guy
was.
I
Whatever
worked
that
with, who's probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years older than me. He always wore like those 80s shirts that were like a half shirt for men, but were like holes,
Yeah.
like muscle shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did not have
Oh,
the muscles.
yeah.
Oh, so he was just a squeeze,
He wasn't
He was
a
like
Kind of like a
squish.
Revenge of the
squeeze
Nerds
ball?
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a stress
He
ball
wasn't-
Like a
type
character.
man.
He's a
Yeah.
character.
He wasn't a
He's a
big
character.
man, but he was not a man that I would say like you want to show off your physique.
Right.
Okay.
But maybe
He's no,
those
he's
will,
no beautiful Ric Flair or Macho
no,
Man Randy
but maybe
Savage,
those
right?
will come back in style, and you
Why
can
are
buy
you
one of
laughing?
those.
It's not funny.
Sick.
Laugh at Randy Savage again, I swear.
I will
Yeah.
laugh at
He's the
Randy
macho man.
Savage any day.
Ric Flair's still alive. Feel free to laugh. But
LOL.
Randy Savage, rest in peace.
Right.
You know, you don't mock the dead,
I do.
no matter how much
Nor the
wine you
nature
drink.
I always mock the dead.
Wow.
They're dead. They can't hear about it unless they can, and then I'm like, sorry, haha. Like,
So
don't curse
going
me
then
or
back to
whatever.
keeping the clothing,
Yeah.
did you or not?
Me? Keep what clothing?
You're
Well, I
you're
don't
the
know.
last one talking.
No, I was just commenting on your half shirt idea about you.
But you know a guy from the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't wear
And you
flat
wear
iron.
half
to
shirts.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, to work.
Now you understand why I don't wear any half shirts.
to
Right.
work.
I'll be honest, I've rarely seen somebody that looked appropriate in a half shirt.
Can
Yeah.
you
I
know
mean,
what?
even I have a cutoff. Like I've seen guys with like a cutoff shirt. And if you're not fit, you get kind of like a droopy side armpit boob.
Oh yeah,
that
like
can
a
come
boob,
out.
like a
a
female
moob?
boob, like
Like a side boob, but it's like an armpit
Yeah.
as part of it sort of drips out the side.
yeah,
You know?
it's not as cute.
It's not good. It's not good look. I'm saying this.
Some people like
a member-
themselves
as a
though, and they
member of
want
a-
to show off their body, and they're comfortable with it, and they
Okay,
they
so
should
there's
have.
something to be
Fine.
said about comfort versus some people don't care. That's
Some
true.
people don't care.
I know people that don't care, no matter their weight, and that's cool. And that's cool to be
All power
confident.
to 'em.
I
I'm
would
just
say
simply saying that.
I would like to comment on the difference between the amount of females wearing crop tops and the amount of males wearing crop tops.
feel a
And
disparity is
yeah, I feel like more men should wear crop tops because I think more women and
Do we really
and gay
want that?
men and
I'm not
bisexual
going to be
men
advocating for
and
that.
whatever
I feel like
other
plenty of
kind
gay
of
men
men
wear a
would
crop
love
top.
to see
Hold
a
on.
man's
I feel like if you're going to
tummy,
narrow down
like an
between men and
abs.
women, and you're going to narrow between
Everyone
men,
loves abs.
Hold
They
on,
should
though.
show them off with crop tops.
gay men tend to be in better shape. I'm
I
saying it.
do
That's
enjoy
it.
going to a gay bar and seeing all the
Yes,
crop
because
tops.
gay men tend to be in better shape
They
than,
look-
Well,
than,
here-
than
Well,
here's the
that's not
question,
necessarily
then.
true.
the cross section of straight men. If you take
can't
20
group-
gay men, you
like,
take 20
gay
straight men, I
men are
guarantee.
in better shape. You
I'm
can't
just
say
saying,
that
they-
necessarily.
in our area,
in
I know
our
that.
area, okay.
I will just tell you that the gay men are always in better shape than
Right,
the straight
but
men in the Midwest.
The real
and
question
I do
is,
enjoy looking at
what
their
is the percentage
abdomens.
of gay women that wear crop tops?
Yeah, that's a metric I can't answer.
Well,
I know of the ones I know.
Probably 50-50.
So maybe men in
I
general.
don't think that you can judge this
Of the
by
gay women
their
I know,
sexuality, really.
most of the gay women I know are dressing for comfort.
The ones I follow on social media are
That's
not.
not someone you know, though. That's just like online. It's not real.
They have abs, and I'm
Okay.
I'm here to see abs.
You
Honestly,
really are going
I
to
really
argue
just
that
like
gay
abs.
men aren't more fit than straight men
I
on
know-
average?
No, yeah,
I
I'm
feel
gonna.
like
There was a
I'm
I'm
whole
gonna
show
say you
dedicated
can't.
for it.
I feel like
Queer
the-
Eye or whatever for the straight guy.
No, that was just a fashion show. I'm
but
saying
all
you
those-
cannot
But
But
all
put
all
of
people
that
people.
was
together.
to say that gay men have it together, the appearance, the body, the look.
No, not
and
the
that
body.
straight
They
men
just
are,
have the
straight men are
the,
sort of
the fashion sense.
feckless,
Dad bod.
half-wits who can't dress
You
themselves. And some of that is true.
You
I mean,
can't put everyone in a bucket.
I'm not
and
putting
be like,
everyone in a box.
Gay
I'm
men
saying
are in better shape
most
than
of the
straight
time.
men. You can't say that.
I certainly can say that. I can certainly
I
say
mean, you
from
can say it,
personal
but it might not be
experience-
right.
It is. It's not about right or wrong. It's my personal experience that most of the gay men that I've known or met in my lifetime are in better shape with better fashion most of the time. That's it. It's not.
Okay.
It's not anything. I mean, have I met straight men who have good fashion and are in shape and who have it together? Sure. Look at me. But the point is, I feel like that.
All
that
I want to do
that-
is I know you're gay joke, but
Yeah,
I don't think it's
right.
appropriate.
No,
it was in a
definitely not.
movie though,
It is, but
but a movie that be canceled today.
he's saying
Yeah.
that I know you're gay.
The 40-year-old virgin wasn't that? That was
Oh
the
yeah,
line,
it's with
wasn't
Steve.
it?
You know, I
Carell.
never saw that movie.
You should see.
There's
it.
pretty
a
good.
there's a whole like decade of movies that I didn't see because they were quote unquote inappropriate for me as a like.
You were an adult when
I
that
just had an
Tween.
epiphany. Steve
Tween
Carell's character
and, like-
in 40-year-old version seems like a slight derivative of his character in Anchorman, a little bit. Think about it.
I think they're all just like
It's just
version
versions
It's
of
just
Steve
Steve
Carell.
Carell.
But like, yeah, but I mean, it's like I think
just
about him.
Steve
I think about
Carell.
how he was with the I Love Lamp and the whole
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of clueless thing that he does, and that's the 40-year-old version too. That's how he is until he becomes the man. But okay, we
Anyway.
have done what we always do, which is get
2005. You were an adult. You should be. You
Yeah,
weren't, like,
yeah, but by
Segue.
then, honestly, by then,
Just
like,
such a huge
okay,
segue.
in 2005,
Battery
I
powered.
started working at Family
Segue.
Video, and all the new movies were coming out, and I needed to watch those in order to tell people what to rent and like what was good and what wasn't. So anything that was like from the year previous or before, I didn't really watch.
What does this have to do with hoarding?
I'm just saying that I didn't watch that movie.
She's
for that
hoarding
reason.
memories of movies that she didn't watch.
I didn't watch that
when Kaylin
because
gets a point in her mind,
it's got to get out. It
has
to get out.
Have you ever played like
I'll
sock
just,
with a little dog? You know, you play a sock game with like a new puppy or a little dog, and you yank back, and you can pull that thing as close as you want, and the dog will never let it go.
I will not.
She will never let it go.
The problem with that though is like I'm like that person on like 600-pound life that's with the person who's 600 pounds and just enables it. So as soon as she gets a kid, and I just want to feed it.
I've got your
Kevin.
punch bowl of Lucky Charms ready, honey.
Thank you, Kevin, for
Hello,
enabling me.
7 pizzas are on their way. Like, what?
You're
Hello?
600 pounds. You're not picky.
You're
eater.
not,
watched
you're not
that show and I'm
adhering
just
to
like-
the diet.
Doctor, and I was like, you had to go and you had to eat only 600 calories. And they're like,
No,
600
1200.
They eat like 10,000 calories a day. So that'd be like literally a marathon
I
runner
feel like I'd
running,
be starving if I was used to eating that much.
10,000, like running every day, eating like 10,000 calories a day. And then all of a sudden you just go to 600 calories. I mean, your mind and your body would, or 1,200, even 1,200. Even
1,200.
Even 1,200. You're talking about an 8,000 calorie deficit.
I would
for
be
most
so
of those
starving if I were them. And they do. That's why they lose all the weight, because their body just eats itself.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get
So
that.
interesting.
I love that.
Anyway,
if they-
clothing.
No, you've destroyed this, and we're just going to leave it behind in the dust of a nuclear
We're all
holocaust.
hoarders.
Oh,
We'll just
the
leave it at that.
nuclear holocaust. Yes, guys. If you were involved, okay, what
you were
would
involved,
happen?
like you have a
if you were
choice.
involved
In a nuclear
You were-
holocaust.
in a
participant.
nuclear holocaust. No, let's
If
say
you or a loved one has been involved in a nuclear holocaust, call
You may
1-800
be
the exciting
entitled
lights
to
today.
compensation.
You might be entitled to compensation. Do you suffer from anal bleeding, ear bleeding, eye bleeding,
extreme diarrhea.
extreme eye and ear and anal bleeding? Call us. Remember the bleeding.
Call now.
Get your money. It's
1-800.
There's literally no money left. There's no one to
It's
sue.
my money and I want it now.
So, okay, nuclear holocaust, right?
Nuclear holocaust.
You're talking
Okay,
about
let's say,
the whole world. then.
Hypothetical question. If you woke up
I love these.
And you're dead.
one day and everyone's dead. No, not everyone, but like there's maybe some people. But the world as you know it no longer exists because of nuclear holocaust. As in, there's no electricity, there's no internet, there's no banking system anymore. There's no it's every man for himself. What is the first thing you would do?
Well, my job's all on a computer, so I guess I got the day off.
Yeah, for real. So what would
You're
you
gonna
do
need-
instead?
Before I answer this question, you need to start tipping me because I poured every glass you've drank
Thank
today.
you, sir.
Yes, garçon.
Garçon, merci garçon.
Do you want me to do what you do when I ask these hypotheticals, which is to ask you pointed data
For sure.
building questions?
I think that's
Am
essential.
I in the U.S. or Europe?
You're here.
Okay, I'm here where I live.
You are here where you
and
live.
I've survived.
And you've survived.
Is everyone else dead?
Not necessarily. You don't know about
Like,
that.
was my family and friends
I don't know.
dead?
I honestly,
Okay,
if
is
I'm going to
anyone else
answer this
around me,
question,
or
if
am I-
I'm going to answer this question, the first thing would be I'd
You
look for
live
you.
alone.
I'd look for you
If-
because I know that he's a person that knows about things and I'm not,
But the
and so
shit-
I'd
the
be
question
like,
is, what's the first thing I do?
first thing I do is look for you.
The first thing I do is take stock of my surroundings and search for survivors in my immediate area. That's, I mean,
Yeah,
case closed.
so same.
That's it.
So
Discussion
same
over. Like,
basically. Yeah. What about you, Kevin?
Well, how am I?
how
if
is
I-
this intriguing?
Yeah,
like,
if I'm waking
I'm
up
just
to this,
I
right?
just wanted to know what you would do if it was different, because like what if I mean there's a lot of
Here we go.
there's a lot of tensions that are happening right now. What if the world just and then what would you do? I need to know what you would do so that I should know what to do, because otherwise I'm just looking for you. But if you're
you're looking for me specifically.
yeah, I'm just gonna drive to your house because my gas
Assuming
car will still have
I've
gas
saw
in it.
Your car is running. Even?
Yeah, does your car run?
Well, sure. I mean, why
Car?
wouldn't it?
Why? Because it's been destroyed.
Why would it be destroyed if
Well,
I'm still alive?
It's a nuclear holocaust, which means that most of the world has been encased in radiation. So
Yeah, okay.
So your surface. So let's say.
Well,
that,
okay, if my car's dead, then I'm probably dead. Because if my home is, then
how
I'm
does the
probably
scenario
dead.
work?
I don't live in a
this-
basement.
in this,
I don't
let's
have a
just say
basement.
that
I'm
you-
dead. So then,
You can't walk.
not if
walk-
I'm dead.
There's shelters all over for this.
There's shelters?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Where?
Well, they have.
I need
signs.
to learn about these shelters so that I don't die in this.
I mean,
Potential
in a
nuclear
realistic
holocaust.
disaster like this, where the world really is end, I'm gonna make sure I have my arms on me. So I have
The
guns.
idea, though,
Your
is that
arms?
fast forward.
I should get some
that
arms.
You've already survived this, and you've come to. So how you got there and how you survived is irrelevant. but let's assume in a nuclear holocaust that your home is destroyed.
Oh, no.
So you were in a bunker and you've come out.
How did I get to this bunker?
Because
cool.
how you got
Cool.
there? And because
Listen, if you guys...
because
if-
you researched after this show
if
about nuclear
anyone
bunkers
has
and now
a
you went to
bunker-
one.
If anyone has a bunker, please let me know. I will come
Witch doctor
and...
over here.
Put
the curse on you. I put the curse on you. Quiet.
Anyway, if any of you have a bunker, please let me know. I would love to join you. Thank you.
You're going to get so many incels being like, hey, Kaylin, I'm going to bunker.
I live in
In the
cells.
middle of Virginia.
They're nice.
Please come stay at my bunker. I've got everything you need and so much white
eventually
wine.
I'll
She'll
go
be gone.
crazy
But the
and
show is
murder
over
college
because
people.
she's gone to live in the bunker in the mountains. Like,
I can't pay
Thank you
taxes
for taking
anymore. This is
care of
silly.
me.
My job.
I don't have to work anymore.
I mean,
Thank you.
you have to kind of preface this though. Like, do we know this nuclear holocaust is coming, or is
Did
it
you say
just
nuclear?
whatever I said? Yeah.
vehicular holocaust.
Vehicular.
Vehicular.
Vehicular
But this
manslaughter
twisted metal
That
clause.
this devastation is coming. Do we know?
Let's just say we survived.
We just survived.
So there's no planet.
There's no
so,
plan.
So the idea here, in order for her to build this into a real topic, needs to be the criteria. And the criteria said is that we've survived somehow, but that most of the world is destroyed, probably including our homes and possessions. So we're starting from scratch.
Could be. Or
What is the first thing that you would
or
do?
it may be just the city, like got
I would get
bombed
away
out.
from
We
the
have
city.
no,
That's the first
we
thing.
have
Oh, you
no
take stock of where you are.
electricity,
That's the
but
first
your
thing you're
home
gonna
might
do.
be
Yeah,
okay.
And then I would get away from where
If
people.
I'm in my home and I survived in my home to the basement somehow through like some type of Kansas tornado experiment, and it goes, I would check for survivors in my home. I would know, or I would check for survivors in my area to lend a hand. But nuclear holocaust is going to change the world real quick for survivors. I assume, unlike Walking Dead, regular people would band together quickly. Because I think the difference between what happened in Walking Dead and real life is there would be people who would use it to take advantage of weaker people, but I think regular, normal people who pay their taxes and go to work and raise a family or whatever would band together into communities and protect
so
that.
they could eat each other.
No, so
they kind of
could,
do that a little
so
bit
they
in
could
the Fear
protect
of
the
the Walking
roving. In what?
The show that was like
Oh,
say,
the
the Fear of the Walking Dead.
I
or
did
whatever.
watch the first two
Yeah.
seasons of that. We had the guy that people sometimes say I look like in that show.
What?
Sean Haddisy.
I don't
I'll
know
fly
who
his
that
picture
man
in
We
is.
will fly that picture.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking
I know
about. 'cause
exactly
I'll
what you're
have to,
talking
People
about.
have
I'll
said
have to
in the
look at
past that I
that
look
when we
like this
fly it
guy.
in and be like yes or no.
I've
'cause I
shown
have
you
no
him
idea.
before, and you go, I see it.
Yeah, oh,
I've shown
okay.
you him before. We've had this conversation.
All
You have to be
right.
careful with that though. There's all that controversy of that one girl said she looks like Megan Fox or whatever, blowing up on the TikToks.
Does she
What?
look like Megan Fox?
No,
Oh,
she does
well,
not.
I mean,
She's on that.
She have a half
this is
shirt
whole,
on?
Did you have a half shirt on? Let's look her
No,
up.
she's
I
on
love
that
looking at half shirt.
I do like a
show
half
my
shirt.
wife watches, Love Is Blind or whatever, and she told the dude she looks like Megan Fox, or people say she looks like Megan Fox, but
But it's a lie.
she looks like a girl.
Was
who
he
doesn't look
disappointed?
like-
I didn't watch his show.
He was
Was he
disappointed.
disappointed because she does not look like that?
But
I have
more-
also not watched
the
the show.
world is more disappointed. I didn't watch the show either, but I've seen the reels.
Well, the world is a vampire.
The
is.
world is a
But anyways,
vampire.
don't say you look like somebody
Are we
you
gonna
don't
like
look
refer
like.
to that in every episode?
I don't feel like we've done
that.
We should
There's
always
another
Make a
episode
Smashing
where
Pumpkins reference every episode.
We should.
not
if
every
we're not.
episode. Maybe it was like I think it was episode 2.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I think that to not beat this to death.
beat it.
I
beat
haven't
it
heard what
long and beat it
Well,
hard.
I haven't heard what you are going to do, because you're the one.
Find somebody
I
else
said
to
look for
help
you.
her.
But if
I gotta look for you because I do not have any arms like what you
So
said that
so
you
you're
would collect
like-
your arms. I do not have any I have my arms, but I don't have like any pew pew arms.
She wants ordnance. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
What about
have.
a sweet sword?
I've got some seeds, so I could be valuable unless my home blows up and then I don't have any seeds anymore.
Would you like me to train you in the use of the Roman gladius for post-apocalyptic
You do have one.
possibilities?
What's a gladius?
A sword.
The best sword ever
sword.
made. The sword that conquered
Honestly, I don't know that I have the upper body strength
Europe
to utilize
and
it.
Asia.
You might not have the upper body strength to shoot a firearm either.
That's a good point. Have you ever shot a gun?
Yeah,
Oh.
I have.
Like a BB gun or like a real gun.
No, I've shot a
she
real
played
gun.
in the arcade, the Terminator game.
Yeah, I played that too. No, I
Hasta la
have shot a
vista.
real gun.
Baby.
But it was years ago. And then I did shoot my brother's airsoft gun, which was heavy.
Not a real gun.
Heavy.
It does
And
feel like a real fire.
it felt really heavy. It was.
I
I was
would
like this,
say-
and I started all right, and I was actually all right. But then I went.
I would say as a person
'cause
who
I
has
didn't
experience
have-
with firearms, the airsoft is the closest replica to a real thing. Like
Yeah.
as far as weight.
And I was actually all right. I could like shoot all the
Mechanics.
targets. I went pew 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 pew, and I was like, this
But no
kind of
kick.
makes me
There's
want to
absolutely
shoot a
no
gun.
kick. I mean,
But
it's-
also, I don't trust myself with a gun, and I don't want the responsibility of owning one.
It's got the weight and the significance, you know.
Guns are scary.
But like 228, right? Like an
We could go
AR-15
shooting.
that
Huh?
shoots 228,
We could go
super
shooting.
light. It's
Oh,
not very
all right.
heavy. Like
I have
people
many
think these
guns.
guns are
Sounds
like massive
fun.
M16 looking. They're not that heavy. I mean,
Well, this one was a big guy, and my
you
arm
probably
was just
shot a
like.
hunting
You could shoot a
rifle.
228. It's not too
yeah,
bad.
that's what I mean. She shoot a hunting rifle, but yeah.
Yeah, hunting.
Shotgun.
I don't want to
She's
hunt.
been
Shotgun would
talking
be
about
great,
wanting to have something
For-
for protection.
for protection.
And
Bird
I
tech.
just have been like, she's turned to me a couple times about this, and I have kind of just been like, for now, maybe
Well,
you
I went
shouldn't
to
have
Canada
a gun.
and they confiscated my pepper spray.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's just that like. In your case, you become afraid when the wind blows.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So I don't need you
I
taking
don't
out a
need to
firearm
have
and shooting through
no.
the wind.
That's
you know,
why I
a
don't
window
trust
or
myself
something.
with one because
Right
I'm
now,
like
you would
probably
receive
not
training, you would be
mentally
fine.
stable enough to actually own
It's not
a
about that.
firearm.
It's not about that.
because
It's
I'll be
just
like,
being-
the wind blew, and I'll be like, psh, psh,
Right.
out the window, and then
It's just managing
Yeah.
your emotions and managing your fear, and then letting your training take over, or whatever it is that you understand.
which is why the first thing I'm going to do is come find you because you have a hold on your emotions and fear, and I do not. And so I'll need to find somebody that has that, and then I should be good. Also, I have seeds unless they blow up, like I said.
So you will you
So,
what you're
like-
so wait, hold on. So you're sweetening the deal. You're gonna bring a bunch of cool post-apocalyptic half shirts and some seeds.
Well, if they survived, yes.
Are they
Let's say that's
magic
all that
beans? Like,
survives.
what are they?
Let's say that the
What
only
seeds
clothing,
do you have?
The
I
only
have
clothing
some-
you
I
have
like
are summer
100.
clothes.
I have
and
100
seeds.
different types of seeds. Like I've got like tomatoes,
Sunflower seeds?
Yeah, no, I don't have any sunflowers. I just have like fruits and vegetables and
Like stored for use later.
Yeah,
What garden are you growing? You live in an apartment.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's my whole point.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I just have them for future use,
Oh,
but I'm
she's
not going to
saying-
grow them
She's
now.
sweetening the deal. So she comes, but imagine this. So, all right, here's your post-apocalyptic choices.
Yeah.
You have only half shirts and shorts. So half shirts and booty shorts.
No. I mean, I have
No,
other
I'm telling
clothes.
you. No, you don't.
Why don't I have? Because it
Because
happens
this
in the
is-
summer.
Because in this
It's all
scenario,
gone.
I'm asking you what you would do in this scenario. So it's
Oh.
post-apocalyptic. You wake up in the bunker. Everyone's gone, but you slipped in like usual, and everyone's left. All you ever have shirts and booty shorts, and all your seeds in a secret location.
Secret location.
You're
Yeah.
gonna go get your seeds first,
I'll go get my seeds.
or you're gonna leave them there and then use them as a bargaining chip, not telling
Yep.
anyone where they're
That's
at.
accurate. Yeah. 'cause
Would you have gone and got them though? Had I not just said that?
No, I would have
You
gone
would've
and
used your-
found somebody first and then been like, listen, I got these
Yeah.
seeds. And then I would go and find them. And then, but I need to find who's the most powerful at the time because a post apocalyptic zombie warlord man is probably going to be the best person to find so that I can become part of his tribe because you know everyone's going to get tribal after this post apocalyptic time.
And that was what I was saying before. I argue that it might not dissemble so quickly. I think that possibly communities that existed prior, if they survived, would continue and would work to restore order, and eventually these communities would spread like countries did, and eventually they would come in contact with each other, and we would return back to civilization. I don't think that
like in the
nuclear
Kevin Costner film, The Postman.
Well, The Postman also dramatizes the changes that were made. I'm sure it'd be changes that I couldn't predict, but my imagination here doesn't put us turning into like bloodthirsty people that kill on sight. I
Yes,
just don't.
I don't
not
know
right
about
away,
that,
no.
and I don't want to be
I mean, it's scarce
repeatedly
resources
ravaged.
turn people
you know?
into that, and there would certainly be scarce resources. But you're talking about a much lower world population now. The
Yeah.
amount of people that we see in The Walking Dead is crazy. If there was an apocalyptic event like that, we're talking about far less people. And in fact, you know, if they just nuked everything, that would be the way to fix a zombie apocalypse. It just irradiates everything.
But then nobody would be alive.
Well,
except
no,
for
everybody
me and
in the
my
bunkers, you
seeds.
just start over, right? That's how they fix that. That's why those zombie movies in real life end real fast because they just go, okay, national service announcement,
Everybody
go
go
to
in
ground
the bunker
now. And
now.
zombies don't know that. They can't understand. They're just like,
Brr,
eat,
brains,
food,
brr.
food. And they just nuke it, and then it wipes everything out, but it stops that spread, right? And
Yeah.
then now we can rebuild. And I think that is why those movies
Yeah.
wouldn't go on so long, because if that if that happened in real life, or if there's just some type of way where we had a virus.
But
that
we have to
maybe
drag this out for a 9-season show. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there has to be drama.
That's why I
involved in
asked
it.
what the first thing was, not like what your play-by-play is for the whole
Well, it'd be
season.
getting over
or-
whatever panic you're feeling and then find other people.
I wouldn't care about my cables anymore.
No, I definitely, yeah.
So
I would
maybe
leave,
this goes back to the first question.
I would
It puts
leave
in
the cables
perspective.
behind.
Maybe that's why I don't organize the cable, because I just don't
Because
care
you don't
about
care.
them. But I
Which
care enough to
means
not
you
throw them
need
away.
to throw them away.
But I care enough to not throw them away.
Throw them away.
I'm going to throw them away now.
Throw them away.
I just think it's time.
It's
My name's
time.
David and I'm a pack rat.
Yeah.
It is time.
Yeah. So I would like to switch gears into something new that I would like to try.
Great. What would you like to try? Would you love to try my wine?
I would. Could you top me up there?
I
am
could.
enjoying this Winking Owl quite a bit. I feel like they've captured a very clean, very like all-day style drinking wine.
All day IPA style wine.
Yeah, just giving a
But
plug
no
to our
IPA.
local brewing here. No copyright infringement
Nope.
intended there.
Nope.
But anyway,
Nope.
I'm enjoying this quite a bit. It's for a California Sauvignon Blanc. It's quite delicious. and
It's
refreshing.
lovely.
So here's to that.
And it makes me feel great.
Well, isn't that what's most important here? I'm going to
Great
excite
and
you.
good,
I'm going to
good.
excite you with a
I'm so
series
excited.
of questions.
Yes.
And
okay.
you can be involved with this too.
Okay.
This is a set of true and false questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you 3 questions. And then I'm going to ask you to pick which one is false. And one of them is. And ridiculously as this
False
is,
questions?
one of the, listen,
What?
these are,
What?
I'm going to ask 3 questions.
What?
One of them is false. The other 2 are true. You need to figure out of the 3 which one is the false one.
I guess I'm going to wait and see what this is.
Okay. You're going to wait and hear 3 questions.
As the audience hears it, so shall I. Amen.
Do you understand what I'm doing, Kevin?
Yeah, I get it.
My co-host
So
here
be it.
is
3 times
He's
3.
lost in the winking owl.
yes, she's been lost to the winking owl.
I've been lost to
sounds
it.
like a horror movie. Like,
Yeah.
look out
She's
for the
been
owl.
lost to the winking owl.
You shan't see her again. Question 1. If you put a raisin in a glass of champagne, it will keep floating to the top and sinking to the bottom over and over again.
That's not
2.
a question.
Fine statements.
True or false? It's a statement. Yeah. I
Wait,
said
can you
that.
say it
Okay,
again?
you-
I was waiting for the
No,
question.
I cannot say it again.
You said questions.
I'm going to I'm going to make questions or
say it
statements.
one more time.
I'm going to make statements, and you one of these is false.
Great.
of
Say
the
it one
3.
more time of that one, please.
You're not choosing now. You're just making it more difficult on me.
No, just say it.
Nope, I'm not going to say
Well,
it.
I don't remember that
the
one,
word
so-
TIPS is actually an acronym standing for to ensure prompt service. And number 3, in 1900, the average American slept 9 hours, 20 minutes. Now it's 6 hours, 20 minutes.
That one's true.
So one of these is false.
Well, I don't
first
remember
one,
the first
once
one.
again, is if you put, so listen and you'll hear, if you put a
Excellent.
raisin in a glass of champagne, it will keep floating to the top and sinking to the bottom over and over again. One of these is false.
What's the second one?
The second one is the word TIPS is an acronym standing
false.
for to ensure prompt service.
False, false, false. That one's false. The other 2 are
Do you
true.
want to hear the last one again?
Oh, I thought you said there were 3.
There's the last one of the 3. That
Oh,
was
no.
the middle one.
I said that one was true.
The winking owl might impair your ability to count to 3. So just
Uno,
remember.
dos, tres. Yes, 3 is true.
Okay, so you think 3 is true. but
One
really what
may
you're
or may
trying-
not be true,
You're
but
trying to
2
figure out
is
which one is
definitely false.
false. Okay, so you think 2 is false.
2 is false.
Okay, so hold on. Let's let Kevin make a choice.
I'm in agreement. I think 2 is false.
And also, what do you guys think? Before we answer, what do you think?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Great.
Well, you guys are wrong.
Oh,
The word tip and tips is actually an acronym standing for to ensure prompt service. It's a fact.
but isn't ensure E?
Well, it says sorry, not to
E
ensure. I'm saying to ensure.
E to ensure.
Ensure. I have braces.
Ensure.
Ensure is a drink
Ensure.
you drink.
But ensure.
INSURE. Ensure.
You're
which
thinking of
means to
Ensure,
guarantee.
which is like a
like a
The
drink.
child's, yes, I think that's a
Pedialyte.
I'm sick. I got to drink.
TIPS stands for to ensure prompt service. That is a correct
Oh, that's
statement.
not what tips are used for anymore.
but I'm telling you
tips
that
are
this-
used for like helping somebody stay alive because their business won't pay them.
What?
Their job
Yes,
won't pay them enough to stay alive. So
I
the,
understand
the
you're
tip is,
using a socioeconomical view of service these days, but the word nonetheless means to ensure prompt service.
This is
That's
a
interesting.
false definition.
If you put a raisin in a glass of champagne, it will keep floating to the top and sinking to the bottom is also true.
Okay.
Yeah, the
It will keep
carbonation, I
doing
assume,
that.
would-
Yeah.
The raisin has oxygen inside it and it releases it, floats to the top.
Yeah.
When it has oxygen, when it releases it, it goes to the bottom
That's
and
what
it
I
collects
thought
the
was true.
bubbles inside it.
Yeah.
And then it floats back to the top.
Yeah.
So it's absorbing the bubbly
Okay.
each time. It will
Bubbly.
sink and drop as it expunges the air as it gets to
Okay.
the top.
So the last one's false.
In 1900, the average person did sleep 9 hours, 20 minutes. Now it's 6 hours, 20 minutes is false. It's actually 7 hours, 20 minutes the average person sleeps today. The average person in 1900
that
does
person is
sleep
not
2
me.
hours, 20 minutes more on average than we do today, which says a lot, really. If you think about the fact that, you know, in 1900, the modern assembly line was just being invented by Henry Ford building the Model A's. And you didn't have people going to work every day. Most people worked on a farm or they were like indentured to a farm or you know, they were employees. I don't mean indentured. That was the wrong word. I think like they worked at another farm. So they were only driving
You either
or,
owned
or
a farm
walking,
or worked for someone else's
or worked
farm.
on or lived at the place where
And
they worked.
Netflix didn't exist, so you went to bed early.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. When the
or-
sun went down,
or
you went to
didn't
bed.
have
Or
cell
you
phones,
went
so
to
you
the
went to
bar.
bed early. You didn't have
Right.
scrolling endlessly through TikTok and Instagram posts to keep you awake until 3 a.m.
Yeah, you
know.
just had a hot wife that birthed you 12 children.
Yeah, I mean, and people did have many more kids there.
Yeah.
Okay, round 2. I'm going to ask a series of statements. I'm going to make a series of questions or statements. Sometimes they can be questions. Like I
Oh.
read them in the way that like you would Jeopardy in the form of question, but I'm not. They're
Jeopardy.
statements. One of these statements is false.
Okay.
You have to be quiet
Great.
to hear what I'm going to say.
Great.
I should have said that beforehand,
You
but I
should
was
have
just
said
giving
it.
you way too much credit.
You were. Don't do that. Do not give me any credit. I will never pay you
This will
back.
be the time to stop speaking. The Eiffel Tower's height varies by up to 6 inches depending on the wind.
Huh?
The Eiffel Tower's height varies by up to 6 inches depending on the wind.
I don't believe in that.
Okay. Second, Hershey Kisses used to be square. And 3, the Vatican has named Saint Isidore the patron saint of computers and the internet.
Yeah. I'm going to say number 1 is false.
What do you think?
I think number 1's true.
Huh?
I think number 3's false.
The
So number 3,
Isidore?
the Vatican has named Saint Isidore the patron saint of computers. and
What
the
do
internet.
you think? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
It's
Guess
rude to
your
point.
guess.
The patron
Guess your
saint
guess.
of computers.
That's why everybody just goes like this.
Computer.
They say it's rude to point at the screen.
Yeah,
We're not,
you don't
not
point.
supposed to do that.
I'm going to point at the screen.
What a face. Whoa.
Yeah, so they
I
know
would
I'm
love
serious.
to know which one of those
So you
is-
know I'm
is
serious. This is my
false.
serious
Like a
face.
dog toy in her mouth.
Arr, arr. I'm a
The Eiffel
pirate dog.
Tower is the false one, but the Eiffel Tower's height varies by up to 6 inches because of the temperature, not because of the wind. It does vary.
Ah, trick question.
Right. Hershey's Kisses did in fact used to be square
Yeah.
when they were first made.
That
I
makes
didn't know
sense.
that. And the Vatican has named Saint Isidore the patron saint of
I
computers and the
do
internet.
feel like I heard that at
Does
one
that
point,
need a
which is
saint?
why I believe that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, it's
The
like every
patron
new thing.
saints are like responsible for everything. Like Saint Anthony is
I'm not Catholic,
is
so I'm not up-
responsible
I know
for
that
I'm
like
not up on this either.
if you can't find something, you're supposed
Google.
to pray to Saint Anthony.
Google is the saint of internet. If I can't
Google
find
is the
Google
saint
is the
of
saint of
computers
the
and
internet.
the internet.
the new
Yes.
patron saint of the internet.
Yeah.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT is the patron saint of
4.0.
the internet.
I think
An AI.
Catholics would disagree, but they do assign someone. I wonder, I don't mean this to be insulting or facetious in any way. I wonder if they've assigned a saint. We should look this up for like roads and transportation.
Look
You
it up,
know?
Kevin. Look
Like,
it up.
I mean, you don't have to look it up right now.
Roads
I'll
and
find out.
transportation.
But I just wonder if
We
there's
can
the
fly it
patron
in.
saint of keeping the roads smooth or something.
Yeah.
Patron saint of hot dogs.
The
Hot
patron saint
dog.
of aeronautics.
I'm sure there's a patron saint of foods.
Aladdin, the
Delicious
patron
food.
saint of
I don't
carpets.
think there's probably one of hot dogs.
Denver's International Airport is larger than the entire city of Boston. One grapevine can produce about 20 to 30 glasses of wine. Cinnamon is extremely poisonous if injected intravenously. One of those is false.
Pretty sure 3's true.
I think number 1 is false.
So 1 for you and 3 for you? Or,
I mean,
or wait, no, you said
I
3
can't
was
believe
true.
an airport is bigger than the entire city of Boston.
That
is
sounds
pretty
stupid.
wild to think about.
What do you think? I'm pointing at you.
Stop pointing at people.
I'm pointing at
It's
you.
offensive.
I'm pointing at you.
For such a calm glass
pretty
of
sure
wine, I feel
cinnamon
like the
is-
pointing.
This
is
glass of wine has
toxic.
made me very wired.
Yeah, I can tell.
Wired. I'm wired.
Yeah.
Drink this Winking Owl California Sauvignon Blanc if you
We're
want
going
to
to
feel
finish this
wired.
episode. She's going to cut that bottom off that sweatshirt.
I'm going to go. I'm going to feel
Post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic
Get all post-apocalyptic.
Kaylin.
One of these, so you chose, so which one is you? I haven't heard what you've
I don't
chosen.
think the airport could be bigger than the city of Boston, unless this is
So
really
that's
dated.
false for you.
Unless it's really dated.
Seems crazed.
Which have you chosen?
1.
Okay, you both have
We
chosen
both
one?
have
Yeah, I
chosen the
chose
same
one.
thing.
Crazy as it is,
No,
it's true.
no,
Denver's
it's
International
not.
Airport is larger than the entire city of Boston.
Like in square miles?
Square footage, square miles, whichever way you
Square
want to.
footage.
It's bigger. It's just
Wow.
bigger. It takes up more space and landmass than the entire
Well, I guess
city
it's
of
including the runways.
Yeah,
And that-
probably. It would have to.
If it's just including the concourse,
Consider
that
that,
makes
that
I guess I was only
Boston,
thinking
though,
of the concourse,
Massachusetts
but-
is landlocked, and Colorado's wide open. I mean, they have
Yeah.
huge tracts. You know, and
Yeah.
it's unfarmable because
Huge.
it's
I've
mountainous.
never been to
Tracts of
Boston. I just assume it's a big
land.
city.
Going like this. One grapevine can produce 20 to 30 glasses of wine, believe it or not. And cinnamon is the false one.
What?
Cinnamon is not poisonous if injected intravenously. That's false. It's actually nutmeg. If nutmeg is in
Nutmeg.
if nutmeg is
I
in,
knew
see, I've
one
done
of them
this
was,
just to be tricky.
was
Yeah, yeah.
toxic. Yeah.
There's some spice.
If you inject nutmeg intravenously into
You
your
will
bloodstream,
die.
It is. It
It's like
can
the
be
same thing
fatal.
with like tapioca pudding. If it's made like
so now I know
incorrectly,
how
it
to
could kill
poison
you.
someone.
Wow, great information
Poison.
that we shouldn't have given to this one. Like,
Poison.
have been on my naughty list for the last year.
You are my enemy.
How will you and go about?
I
have to
am
let
Are you
the
like
fire
Dexter now?
and-
You're gonna sneak around with like a syringe full of
I don't
nutmeg?
even have
Merry
a syringe.
Christmas.
Your
I
dark
would have to like
passenger?
access some syringes somehow. I wonder if you can buy them on Amazon. Can you buy syringes on Amazon?
Yes.
Where do you get your diabetes
They
syringes
come
for
from
your
the pharmacy,
cat?
but I, as I understand it, my cat syringes, which are only like that big,
Yeah,
which is probably enough to
That's
send a
all you
lethal dose of
need.
nutmeg.
I'm just gonna start
I'm only using it
injecting
for
all
3
my
units.
enemies
I wish I could
that
get
I don't
3 unit
have.
ones that are just little for cat diabetes. But anyway,
Diabetes.
Wilford Brimley.
yeah, nutmeg is.
I knew it was
will kill
something
you.
like that,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's what I did, and that for these, I only did 3 sets of true and false because I thought that would get everybody riled up enough. And
I
it
was
turns out that was
riled.
true.
I was so
an
riled.
airport being bigger than like what I assume is a major city is
pretty
That's
crazy.
pretty insane.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Well, I mean, the U.S. is kind of one of those countries that has so many different types of cities. Like we have landlocked cities, and we have waterway cities, and we have bridge cities, and then we have out west swaths of land, build a giant
Huge
airport
tracts
city.
of land.
But I mean, there's counties in Texas that are bigger than the entire state.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
entire states,
suppose.
than Delaware or something. So
Runways
there's-
are rather large too, so they have a lot of those.
Yeah, that's why they go out and set land speed.
Because even
records.
our little airport here is
right.
square miles, pretty massive.
Yeah. I
I-
mean,
Now that I
another-
think about it,
I have another question for you that's totally unrelated to this.
great.
can't wait.
Great.
Is it Winking Owl infused?
Oh, totally. Totally infused.
If you had 7 penises,
It's close to
but
that,
one of them
yes.
is what one of them is your real one, and the other 6 are fake. Do you think you could recognize and choose the real penis among the 7 fake?
Whoa,
or
that's
6
a good
fakes?
question. And
Yeah.
no, I don't think I could. My question is very similar to that.
How would you choose my penis? was
If
real?
you woke
I'm
up-
choosing, not you.
If you woke up, this is why it's similar. If you woke up
To penises?
to penises, no. I would. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's the
You
question.
would wake up to penises?
Yes, listen to the question.
Oh wow.
If you woke up and all of a sudden you realized you were the opposite gender,
Oh no.
what is the first thing you would do other than fondle your own genitals to see how that would feel? Because obviously that's a different
I don't know that
experience.
would be the first thing I would do.
That wouldn't be the first thing you would do?
Check.
Check and you wouldn't fondle your own genitals to see what that was
the
like?
idea of understanding, I think.
I feel like most people would just like
for
see
this
what that is.
fundamentally to take hold.
I feel like this is a topic that we should not even touch on.
I don't know. Well, fundamentally, I think that the understanding of the other genitals is important, and I just
think
wanted
it
to
is
say
important,
genitals.
which is why, because I've thought about, what would it be like to be a man? And then I'd be like, well, I would want to know what that is.
You for sure have had
is.
a penis fantasy more than once.
No, I haven't had a fantasy.
No, I mean like that to have
just
one.
a curiosity, I
Yeah,
would
but you
say.
have said many times, I just wonder what it would be like just to have.
Honestly, it just seems
You
so
said it.
convenient.
Does
just
it?
Yeah. Okay, we're
Clearly
on the
from
road.
someone who's never sat on their balls before.
I have heard that that's not a common thing.
It is a common thing.
Is that Kevin? Have you sat on your balls?
Dude,
You have.
everybody's done it at least
Everyone
once.
sat on their balls?
I mean, unless you have like a
That
tiny,
sounds
tiny little. You're
terrible.
blessed with a tiny little sack
Yeah.
that doesn't get in the way. But yeah, I mean, it's like
On a
bonking
hot
your.
summer's day.
It's like
A
bonking
hot
your
summer
boob
day,
on
you
something.
sit on your balls,
happen.
Oh, dude,
and
it's
then that
awful.
doesn't that make you want to pass out or something? You're just like,
People
not
are
a
mass
comfortable thing.
unsubscribing. They're like, I thought this show was about wine.
I thought
Too
this
much half
show-
shirts and
this
scrotums
is
being talked about.
ridiculous.
We rebuke this show.
I rebuke you.
Post-apocalyptic man searching. Why didn't you go out and be a woman
Honestly, though,
conqueror?
okay. If you woke up as the opposite sex,
Not diddling my bean first
You-
off. No way.
I mean, you wouldn't have to diddle. You wouldn't have
I'd
to
check it and I'd be like, oh, whoa.
Well, that's weird.
I'd go pee.
You'd go pee.
Yeah, I probably would have to.
Well, I guess if that's the first thing you do in the morning.
Most people pee.
Is
I
go
think,
pee.
when they get up.
You're
Then
right.
you know,
You're right.
I might poop too.
But that's probably how I
Experience
would
what that would be
discover
like.
that I had a penis.
I would wipe incorrectly if I had the other.
Oh no!
Because,
You wipe back to front.
no. But I just feel like somehow I would screw it up. Like you have a certain amount
You
of
only
area.
have to wipe front to back ever. Do men wipe back to front?
I do not.
I don't either.
That
but
seems like you would get it caught in other things.
What would you do? You just jerk off furiously?
I don't know that I would jerk off, but I would totally be diddling. I'd be like, "What's this about?"
Diddling? You
Honestly,
don't
I
diddle
probably,
it,
diddle.
I probably would be peeing
don't
though,
diddle it.
because that's the one thing that's
See, that's what I mean. Fundamental
that's-
understanding of the genitals you're going to encounter.
I
think
need
it's
to
important.
have
We
a
don't have
fundamental
that. Men don't-
understanding
I don't have it.
of the
I
genitals
understand
that
it,
I'm
but-
about to have. The reason why I've been so intrigued about what if I had a PP instead of a VV is you could pee anywhere. You wouldn't have we're on the road and I have to pee and we have to find a rest stop, or I have to squat awkwardly and risk a semi coming by and
One
blowing
time.
my
And we
urine
never have heard the end of it.
across the road or across my legs. It's very inconvenient.
One time.
But if I could just have external genitals,
In 5 years.
that would be something interesting to explore.
She had to pee on the side of the road in Toronto.
I did.
Don't they sell a Shivi or something?
A Shiwi, yeah, I
She
bought
bought
one.
one, but she's not
Honestly,
brave
I
enough to
opened
use
it.
it.
The smell of it was so revolting. I
The smell
don't
of
think
the product before
the
even
product,
used.
the
Not her own
product
urine.
smell was so revolting. I don't know that I could ever use it. And honestly, how am I supposed to put this thing while I'm sitting in a vehicle? How am I supposed to put this thing and then
So what are we doing with a penis
I
again?
assume you would just wear it all the time.
peeing with it? Honestly, that's my
thing.
curiosity. Is just I
Okay.
guess the first thing I
So
do when I
here-
wake up is pee.
But hold on,
So,
time out. You might wake up with it engorged.
engorge. Oh, I never thought of that.
So
I guess
it
then
might-
the first thing I do
morning
is
wood.
diddle it.
That's not a word you can use for peeing.
Why?
Because it's not. You can't
Doodly
diddle-
doodly doodly.
It's not a
doodly
food.
None of
Doodly
these
doodly.
words we can use.
We can't
Yeah.
use these
No,
words.
no.
Legally, we
This
have
whole
to,
topic is.
are we going to have to blip all this out? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
This might be an inappropriate topic for
It's not
Kevin.
inappropriate if you woke up with the different genitals. I think that
Yeah, what
what
would
you
you
do
do?
with them can be inappropriate.
Well, I mean,
I'd find a hole in the wall and just hump it.
no, I wouldn't
would
do
be-
that. That
Right.
seems ridiculous.
But why not?
What? Because there wouldn't be a hole in the wall, and why would I hump a wall? That seems silly.
People do all strange stuff all the time.
People hump walls all the time.
To that, I'm going to say bottoms up
I have half a glass
to
of
the winking
wine.
owl.
The winking owl.
It's been delicious. That's going to do it for this edition of the Exciting Whites podcast. We have covered so much ground here. I want you guys to let us know what you think
Yeah.
about all of this. Where we are with these topics. This show tends to roll kind of like a stone just down the road, or a wheel,
Like a Rolling Stone.
or a leaf on the river. We kind of bifurcate and go where we wish. Let us know in the comments what you think about everything we talked about. junk drawers and cables and clothes. Do you throw your clothes out? Do you keep them? Are you an organized person? Are you a better human than us? I mean, I do keep a lot of stuff. The first thing I would do after a post-apocalyptic, event is probably take stock of the fact that I don't have to carry around a bunch of cables and shirts I can't wear anymore.
That's nice.
It would solve that problem.
And I think let us know, guys, what you think about that true and false. Pretty wild, huh? I'm gonna do a couple more of those. So if you guys like that segment, we'll do it again. But
also, if there's something that you want us to talk about and discuss, let us know.
That isn't related to genitals.
I mean, even if it is related to genitals, you can let us know about that.
I guess that we're putting it out there. We will talk about and have talked about.
We
genitals.
may not talk about the genitals, but
The
you
genitals.
could put that in the comments, and we will heartily read those comments for sure. Also, make sure you're giving us a like and a follow because that lets us know. Yeah, give us a subscribe.
We like
Give
to
us-
know that people care.
Click
or
on
that
the
they're
little
watching.
bell
It does help.
notification so that you know that you're never going to
That
miss
we
an
know that
episode.
you know that they knew
That
that
we
we
know
all-
that you know that we know that they know.
Anyway, thanks for
Everyone
watching,
knows.
guys. Have a great night. Take care.
Bye-bye.